Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play 100% Orange Juice. We'll be doing QP episode 5 for this video. Now you'll notice I've already have the crown next to QP episode 5, and the truth behind that is I beat it off camera. I'll explain why after this story. What is this place? I guess we got taken to a different world. Still, this world is really dark. I'm sure flying here will be tough. Popo! Popo! It's Popo! We won't let you go anymore! Hey, wait! Something is wrong with her. Popo? Popo! I can see two Popos! This is bad. I can't tell which one is my pudding. That's what's important? Strange creature discovered. Who's that? Cute. Popo's embarrassed. Popo, but Popo's way cuter than you. That's not true. Popo is cuter. Popo, Popo. They're fighting each other. It feels like they're gonna start punching each other at any moment. One of them starts the rocket, right? Whoa, it will blow up. This is getting dangerous. We better stop them now. Now, as I was saying before, the reason why I have beaten this chapter off camera is because I was recording an episode, and I managed to beat this chapter in the second attempt in the same video. But since the video was too long, there was some Camtasia issues. So from now on, I'm gonna try to only fit in one episode per video, whether it be a win or a loss. Although, at this point, it'll probably only be the wins that will be uploaded. So we're just gonna quickly assemble a deck, and then we'll jump right at it. Now, as you can see, we are indeed fighting two Mary Popos on this map, as well as a new character, who is Sora. We can check from her stats. She has 4 health, +1 attack, +0 defense, and +1 evasion. She is a pretty good character in my opinion. You'll see why soon. And the reason I say she's a pretty good character is because it's her hyper card, which allows her to roll nothing but 6s for the turn. So essentially her hyper card negates the factor of randomness, which is a very key point of any kind of board game involving dice rolls. So regarding that, people consider her to be a pretty high tier character in that regard. Now on the previous turn, Mary Popo used her hyper card Ubiquitous to steal 1 star from us. So I think it was a pretty big waste of a hyper card on her part, but you can't always rely on the AI being Einsteins at this game. I'm gonna fight a duck, deal 2 damage, and we're gonna defend and take 1 damage. Now the theme that's playing right now is Sora's theme. If you've noticed previously, whenever somebody levels up, as in reaching their Norma, the music changes to their theme song. So I think that's a pretty neat touch in terms of the audio aspects of the game. And Sora's theme in particular is one of the less boring ones. I say boring in not to say that the music is bad, but more so as in like say compared to QP or Mary Popo's theme, where they're just really laid back. This one has more techno aspect to it. Although I am not quite very versed in my music genres, so perhaps I'm just talking out of my ass. Now, it's been a rather slow game so far. No one's actually achieved level 2 in their around 2 to 3 minutes of play so far. I forgot to mention that this field has a effect called Air Raid, which means every 5th turn all units take 1 damage. This can be very useful in taking out your enemies. As you can see, Mary Popo and Sora both have 1 health right now. If they stay at 1 health for the next 2 turns, they'll be knocked out by the air raid. Mary Popo actually is going to try to kill the other Mary Popo and succeeds. And Sora is going to fight Duck and succeed. Chapter 9, which means 1 more turn until the air raid. We're going to go here and stop by home to heal 1 health. And air raid occurs, so Sora gets knocked out since she only had 1 health. We land on the drop panel, which is unfortunate. Mary Popo lands on the purple warp panel. Actually, a friend of mine noted this observation while playing through their campaign, is that Mary Popo's AI will always go to the warp panels whenever given a choice, which I think is a pretty interesting observation. Mary Popo uses Ubiquitous to steal from the other Mary Popo. We will go take this detour to avoid the drop panel. Mary Popo uses a nice jingle, and she'll cash that in immediately, despite the fact she only rolled 1 on the bonus panel, so she got double of 1 star, which was 2. We draw a Heat 300% trap card. Could be very useful to place on someone else's home lollipop. Mary Popo KOs a chicken. And Sora's gonna fight us. Rolls a 4, so any defense will let us survive. We retaliate with a 1, but she dodges. And the airstrike occurs again. So we are actually at 1 health, so that's a pretty dangerous situation. Sora can come in and try to knock us out if she rolls high enough, but she rolls a 1, so we have more time to get away. We're still gonna fight this. If we don't get we don't KO the Sentinel will KO us. But we evade, so that's okay. I was kinda actually hoping for the Sentinel to KO us, because I was concerned for Sora coming in to try to KO us. But now that Mary Popo used the here and there event card, our positions on the board are swapped, so I'm less concerned about anyone trying to go after us. My main concern now is to try to get more than 1 health, because otherwise the air raid field effect will knock us out in 3 turns. Sora levels up, and we go back to her kicking theme song. We have to fight another Sentinel, and we're gonna evade and actually get knocked out this time. It's not too bad because we were expecting to take the 1 damage soon from the air raid anyway. The only bad part is we lost some stars, but it's better that it goes to an enemy rather than another player, because it always gives us a chance to kill that particular enemy and acquire our stars back. And the good thing about being knocked out during the air raid is that we can't take any damage since we're already knocked out. So we'll be able to revive with full health, although the boss did appear. We are going to draw Hyper Mode, and we'll discard Tragedy in the Dead of the Night. Mary Popo places down a trap card on her home, and then chooses to fight us. We're gonna defend, and then retaliate, hoping to get a KO, but no, we roll too low. The other Mary Popo is gonna try to fight Mary Popo, and knocks out. And then the other Mary Popo is gonna fight us. We're gonna defend, and try to do some damage. We do 2 damage to her. Sora's just moving around the map. We're gonna go here. We're not gonna stop at home. and we're gonna go on this other lollipop. And then we're gonna go for 70 or more stars next. The reason we went for the other lollipop is that now that we are on the square, we have the potential to put a hindering trap on it. And since this is Sora's lollipop, it would delay her progress even further. But our main concern right now is to try to delay the green Maripopo. I think what we're gonna do is put the heat 300% on Sora to hinder her combat stats. Let me draw another go away card. Sora uses a Cloud of Seagulls card, but unfortunately she took the 2 damage and as a result gets knocked out. We're gonna go take this detour to avoid the boss. Maripopo was actually gonna fight the boss, and I think the boss could probably KO her, but Maripopo has enough of a defense to survive. The other Maripopo is gonna fight the boss, and also survives. Sora revives on the first revival check. Draw another card. I think we're just gonna get rid of here and there. I really want to keep the go away trap cards handy in case we land on more of the other players' lollipops. Sora's gonna fight the boss, deal 1 damage, and take 1 damage of our own. We are gonna... I'm actually gonna go for the war panel. I didn't want to risk fighting the boss. The other option was to fight Maripopo, but I didn't want to land on the drop panel actually. So now that Sora landed on our trap, she'll have -2 defenses for 3 turns, which puts us in a good position to try to KO her. Gift exchange is used, so cards in our hand are shuffled around, and actually we managed to acquire 2 of Sora's hyper card. And although I've mentioned it earlier, I will reiterate. The effect is roll 6 for movement, battle bonus, and drop. So that's a pretty useful card. We're not gonna use Usabit. And that was the reason why. I wasn't expecting her to do much damage to us. See if we can't get a knockout. Now we do. We got a hefty sum of stars. Sora's gonna have to fight the boss. I think that's gonna look pretty grim for her. She gets knocked out. Although it costs 30 stars to use the Extraordinary Specs hypercard, it's very worth it if you plan ahead. Let's see if I can use this in particular. Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna use Extraordinary Specs. I'll be guaranteed to roll 6. And then I'll guarantee to roll a 6. So then you see 6 times 3 is only 18, so that was a pretty poor play on my part. But I just wanted to demonstrate the extraordinary specs since I have 2 of them. We'll move along. The reason that was a poor play was I lost 30 stars to only gain 18 stars. The best use of extraordinary specs is to try to fight other people with it, essentially. Since you're guaranteed to roll 6s, so you're guaranteed to have a high attack value. Gonna continue to move along. I'm gonna use Usabit to hopefully survive this fight with the boss. Unfortunately, the boss knocks us out, so that puts us a bit behind. I'm gonna try to revive, but I don't think we'll be able to revive for another turn or 2. Simply because our luck is atrocious. Maripopo's gonna fight the boss. Boss is at 1 health now, and knocks out Maripopo. So the next boss, next person who lands on the boss will probably be able to knock it out. Now, since we were KO during the airstrike, we didn't take the 1 damage, so that's our only positive right now. We'll just mosey along. We're not gonna fight Sora. Although Maripopo's gonna fight Sora, and I think that's a bad idea on her part. She's gonna take 2 damage. Sora's gonna use Dash. presumably to get away from me. Or actually, she's gonna take out the boss, so she's at a pretty large sum of money. Sora's gonna be a huge problem to deal with for the rest of this game. We're gonna go here, even though that means losing some stars, because we want to chase down Sora and use our Extraordinary Specs Hypercard to KO her. And this is exactly what I plan to do this turn. I'll use Extraordinary Specs. I'll roll a 6 for movement. I will fight Sora. I'll roll a 6 for this combat. Although she did roll a 6 for the defense. So we'll roll a 6 for evasion. And then we'll fight this duck and roll a 6. I'll go with the duck. I was really hoping I KO'd Sora. But that was really unfortunate. Perhaps the Sentinel can weaken Sora for us. Sora's at 1 health. So we're gonna want to go in for the kill. I'm gonna attack. But she rolls an evasion of 6. So that's really unfortunate. But we do KO the Sentinel. So then Sora's gonna move again next turn. And then next turn we're gonna try to KO her because her star bounty is really crazy. But due to the field effect of Air Raid, she gets knocked out without losing any stars. So that's really unfortunate for us. Although I do have the sealed Guardian card that I can't use until I become level 5. I'm gonna fight this enemy. We'll defend. Gift exchange is used, so cards are warped. And we actually acquire the Ubiquitous card, which is Mary Popo's hyper card. Move to a target's unit panel. In addition, steal stars equal to 10 times their level. So we could use this to steal stars from Sora later. We're gonna stop at home. And then go for 120 more stars. Mary Popo's gonna fight us, which is a pretty bad idea. But she did have our hyper card, so we'll need to roll higher than a 1 to survive this, which we do. I think we're just gonna mosey along. I'm gonna drop some more stars, but that's just the way it is. Mary Popo actually used Sealed Guardian, so we're in a pretty bad spot. We're gonna use Rainbow Colored Circle to hopefully dodge this attack. Which we do, because it gives us +2 evade. And then hopefully our retaliation attack will knock her out. And it does. So we're at 200 stars, which I say is pretty good. Now, what I could do is use Ubiquitous. That would steal 30 of Sora's stars, and we could go back home, but I think that's a bit risky since we're at 1 health right now. I think I just want the Air Raid to knock us out on the next turn, so that we don't lose any more stars. Ubiquitous is used on me by the other Mary Popo, and that's perfectly fine, since I'm still at 200 stars. But what's not fine is that Sora's level 4, and so Air Strike happens, or Air Raid, and both Mary Popo and I are knocked out. This is gonna give some time for Sora to catch up to us. Mary Popo's gonna fight a chicken. Sora's not gonna stop at home, which is very surprising. Since she actually chose defeat 9 or more enemies for her Norma. Although Mary Popo chose to get 200 or more stars. So, she's very close to her own lollipop. So, at this point, I'm forced to use Ubiquitous to steal from her. And we get an achievement, the girl who stole the stars. The main reason I did this is because I can't allow Mary Popo to stop by her home lollipop with 200 more stars, because that will mean the end of the game. So instead, Mary Popo is gonna have to take this detour and that will allow us to give us some time to perhaps win the game for ourselves. We're gonna go here and pass by our home, and then we'll go for our last 200 more stars. And hopefully we'll be able to roll and land on one of the lollipops, because that would secure our victory. Sora KOs the other Maripopo, but at this point Sora isn't really too much of a concern. Sora used the Let's Be Friends card, I believe, which means mixed boss spawn. What I'm gonna use here is actually that's pretty risky. I don't want to risk the potential of this Maripopo landing on the exchange, but otherwise it could help disrupt actually it probably won't disrupt the other two players because they're all at the 200 star threshold at this point. So we're gonna go here, and we got really lucky to roll 6 and achieve 200 stars. And so we actually managed to beat this chapter, so that's pretty good. We won't have to attempt another one and potentially ruin the video due to Camtasia issues. We managed to avoid an explosion. You two mustn't fight. Pooh, Po-poo. Both of you are cute. Po-poo, Po-poo. Okay, it's settled. Nothing is settled yet. We still don't even know why there are two Popos. And our possessions too. Popo. Don't worry, Po. Eh? It's gonna be over on the next stage. What's that supposed to mean? Huh? What's going on? The world is starting to distort. It feels like the last boss is about to appear. So, as you can see, this game has no problems breaking the fourth wall in terms of its plot. And next video we will attempt QP final episode. And I don't really expect to beat that episode on our first try, simply because the final boss rolls 6s like crazy and has ridiculous combat stats. So until next time, thanks for watching. Castella out.